Hi, welcome to the Empowered Woman Podcast. This is a place for you to learn from inspiring women how to empower yourself through self-love. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Martaspirk, and I'm your host, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. On this episode, I go through all the silver linings in the month of June and announce my next free training, Loving All of Me, what embracing my hair has been teaching me about self-love. Let's get right to it. Here we are, last day of June. How crazy is it? But it was an amazing month. That doesn't mean that there were no challenges. Still mid-isolation, still mid-pandemic, and all the other crazy things going on in the world. But since I encourage you to always look for the silver lining, let me share some of my silver linings in the month of June. So I officially wrapped up the 20 interviews inside my Facebook group, the Empowered Woman Community, and it was such an amazing experience. Like I mentioned before, I will keep doing this. I will keep interviewing women inside the group and then selecting some interviews to air on the podcast. So stay tuned for the 2 interviews that I'll be releasing in July based on the conversations that I had in the Facebook group. I'm so excited to make that selection, although I know it's not going to be easy. And if you're interested in being featured and being interviewed in my group, just go to the link in the show notes, but it's bit.ly/podcast-anev. So it's still in celebration of the 2 years of the podcast. I am so proud of how much I've grown, how much I've learned about the process of interviewing, how much I've learned about connecting with women, and how important it is to have a platform such as this to make meaningful connections, because it really is something that I can offer. Every time I meet a woman that I admire, the very first thing that I can do to get to know her and to provide some sort of, opportunity for visibility and just to share their story is to say, hey, do you want to be interviewed on my podcast? I'm so excited to have this, up my sleeve, and it has really helped me make amazing connections. And I guess this is a little tip. If you've been on the fence trying to start a podcast or not, I highly, highly encourage it. It's been just an amazing experience for growth for me to share my story, to share my thoughts. It's really been therapeutic. I can't say it has always been easy because sometimes, life happens and I don't feel like releasing an episode, recording an episode, editing an episode, but it has helped me with accountability to be very consistent. And even though I've skipped a week here and there, I'm very proud that I've kept the show going for 2 freaking years. That is insane. And I am so proud of myself. And I am so grateful for you that have kept listening to me. So thank you so much for your support, which, by the way, we're reaching 50,000 downloads. And I know I want to do a giveaway. I want to do something. I just want to celebrate. And interviewing these women sure was an amazing way to celebrate by interviewing them in my group. But I will continue. So if you're interested in being interviewed, do apply. And I would love to connect with you. So let me share a couple of other amazing things that have happened in the month of June, specifically last week. Last week was just full of amazingness. The first one, and I shared this from my mailing list, I spoke at an event. It was a virtual event, but they actually do it in person monthly. It's part of this worldwide organization called Creative Mornings. I had never heard of them. And I was approached via email by one of their organizers, and they said, we found you online and we're interested in talking to you about a speaking opportunity. And this was mid-April. I almost spoke in their May event, and we were kind of hoping that it would have been in person. It hasn't happened, and we don't know when it's going to happen. But we ended up scheduling it for June. And the theme for the event was insecure. And again, I sent this out in my mailing list. And just a quick pause to say, if you're not in my mailing list, do add yourself. You can go to my website, martaspirk.com, and you will find a little box to sign up. And you'll get a free gift from me, which is the self-love mirror exercise. So go sign up so that you can get all the updates in case you miss them here on the podcast. But I'm pretty consistent with sharing stuff on social media. But in case you're not very active on social media and miss some podcast episodes, getting information via email is best. So go on ahead and sign up on my website. So back to it. I was super excited to participate in this because it's really a different audience that I'm used to. It's not just women. It was not just entrepreneurs. It was for a group of people that consider themselves creatives. And I was very intrigued and interested in how they were very particular about how I would make my presentation. Because usually when you're invited to be a guest speaker somewhere, they kind of give you the liberty to create the outline and, you check in with them, you kind of share what you're going to say. But I had several meetings with them back and forth to make sure that my topic would align with people that consider themselves creatives. And I got to say, I learned a lot in this process. It made me a little bit nervous. I think maybe more nervous than I would have been because they were so particular and they wanted to make sure that my content would be relevant for their audience, which I totally understand. But at the same time, it really helped me. And the feedback that I received from them was just mind-blowing. So I am very grateful for all of it, for them being so particular about what they wanted me to share and to make sure that it really was something that added to their audience. And I have made amazing connections already. Lots of ladies following me on Instagram and joining my Facebook group, joining me on LinkedIn, following me on Twitter. It was amazing. And it was great. It was great because it really helped me see that I am a creative. I can consider myself a creative, and I'm looking forward to being a part of this community and checking out more of their events. And once the recording is available, I will make sure and share that with you because it really was powerful. Everything that I shared. And one of the things that I even did in my last in-person workshop is that I focused a lot on the type 3 of the Enneagram because that's who I am and what I have the most experience with. And I know not everybody is a 3, but everybody has a little nuance of all types, and everybody at a certain given time seeks for external validation. That is a human nature type thing. Except for type 3s, it's very exacerbated and is exhausting because it almost becomes the only thing that we seek in life is external validation. And that leaves us feeling like we're not enough, like nothing could ever make us the best. And it really is a lifelong quest of finding this worth outside of ourselves and understanding that it has been inside of us all along. And I believe that lots of the people on that meeting resonated with that because when you consider yourself a creative, you are naturally inclined to self-expression, but you seek that approval from others. So even if you are not a type 3, but you do creative work out there, then you resonate with this message. And so that's why I think it clicked so well. And with the theme being an insecure, it had everything to do with that. All of our insecurities stem from fear of rejection, right? Fear of disapproval, which I am an expert on that with being a type 3 on the Enneagram. So it was just an amazing experience. It was great. And I got to sing a song, which is the same song that I sang in my last event too. So, with everything that I do, there are some things that are repetitive because it's just my message and it's what I resonate with and what I'm an expert in. But they loved it. So I was so excited with all of it, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. And if you consider yourself a creative, go look for Creative Mornings. They have several chapters all over the world, and I presented for the Denver chapter, but they have it for different cities. So go and search, find the one closest to you, go check out one of the meetings and be a part of it because they're an amazing organization. I don't know a whole lot about them because I just got introduced a couple months ago, but I am very interested in, being more active because it was great. Another amazing thing that happened last week was that I finally got to do my citizenship interview. So I am pretty close to being an official American citizen, and I couldn't be more proud, happy, excited, grateful because it really has been a lifelong dream. To think back when I was 12 years old, and even before then, but the most vivid memory that I have is when I was 12 in 1999, and it was 4th of July, and I drew an American flag on my diary. And I was just thinking about that, it's Independence Day and, living in Brazil, like just this far distant dream of being a part of the United States or, living here or whatever. And not only do I live here, I work for the United States government as an interpreter. My kids are Americans, and I'm well on my way on, into becoming an American citizen, being able to get my passport, being able to vote. So this is a huge accomplishment, and to celebrate, I decided to record a very special song and release it on my YouTube channel, which, if you don't know yet, I have been recording lots of cover songs and posting it in my YouTube channel. So you can just look for me, martaspirk, on YouTube, and you will find. Please subscribe while you're at it and like my videos. And I released full-blown 4th of July background fireworks, and I was wearing a red top. Like, it was the day that I had the interview. I was just on cloud nine, and I recorded this video singing the Mariah Carey song, Make It Happen, because that's what I did. I really had a dream, and I made it happen. And it wasn't by myself, of course. I had lots of amazing people help me along the way, but nonetheless, I made it happen. And I'm just so happy and so proud of myself. So go on and watch, go support me over there on YouTube. And if you have any requests, do let me know. Next thing, I talked to you about my experiences with caterpillars turning into butterflies that we got a couple boxes to, do a little experiment with the kids since we've been stuck in the house and we need things to do. I know this was kind of more for me than for the kids anyways, because they didn't fully understand and they wanted to be touching it. And I was very afraid of them killing the caterpillars and then the butterflies, but all of them have turned into butterflies. And I've been showing little updates in my stories on Instagram, but we'll probably be releasing them this today or tomorrow. So it has to be this week because, there's a little chart that comes with it with all the instructions of what to do. And now that they've all emerged, we have to release them. We've just been keeping them in there to, feed them and to kind of watch and then make sure that they're okay, well on their feet and well situated with their wings and everything. It's just such a fascinating process. And I only got to see one of them coming out of the chrysalis, which, by the way, they're not cocoons. Cocoons, I guess, someone messaged me on Instagram and said that they went to Butterfly Pavilion, and cocoons are only used for moths. And for butterflies, the name of the little house is actually a chrysalis. But I mean, for practical purposes, we're not scientists here. We can say the cocoon. So I only got to see one of them coming out because it's really, really fast. As soon as it cracks open, it's a matter of seconds. And I was even wanting to make sure that the very last one I could video and see. And I waited all day and I was like, dang it, it's probably going to come out in the middle of the night and I'm not going to see it. And then come Saturday morning, Shane comes running in the bedroom and startles me, wakes me up at 7 a.m. and he says, it's happening. And then I go out there, and the seconds that it took him to run from the kitchen to our bedroom, like literally seconds because it's in the same level, the thing had already come out. And I was so disappointed, but it's okay. We'll probably get more eventually and be able to watch the process, but it's really, really fast. And when I saw one of them coming out with the kids, they actually saw it with me, I cried. It's just so beautiful to see, how nature takes care of itself, and it's just so self-sufficient and so exuberant. And to think that that's a part of who I am. I am self-sufficient in many ways, and I am exuberant. And this is what this work of self-love has been teaching me this entire time, is how I can find beauty and strength and power within me. I don't have to look outside of myself. Sure, I need people. Sure, I love my family and everybody, but I can't depend on them because I'm not with them and they're not with me 24/7. It's only me, right? And this takes me into something super exciting that I have in the works. So I took the month of June to interview all these ladies, and now I'm going to take the month of July to do some trainings and to share a little bit more about my work now that the Empowered Women's School is closed for the time being. And I'm not sure if I share this on the podcast or not, but I've been embracing my curly hair throughout quarantine. It was something that I was thinking about doing in the summer, and then with not being able to go out or anything, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start paying closer attention to my hair, to what I do to my hair, and learn how to care appropriately, officially for curly hair. I've had curly hair pretty much ever since I got my period. My hair used to be wavy. And then after I got my period when I was 12, all about me being 12 this episode. When I was 12, it was in 1999, my hair started getting super curly, and my mom never really knew how to deal with it. She always told me to brush it. She would blow dry it for me and do kind of like a blowout, and because she had really straight hair. My sister has straight wavy hair, and it was something that I never knew how to handle. And so I pretty much denied it my entire life. Like, there were moments where I accepted it, but I didn't fully love it. I was frustrated by it, to be honest. And this time around, I really want to get to know my hair and to love it and to care for it. And this experience has been really fascinating. I think, I actually know that it's been extra fascinating because of the work of self-love that I do, and having to take the time and plan ahead with how much time I need to put the products on, and to fail and not like the way it looks and have to try again the next time I wash it, or, to watch the videos, to try stuff in my hair. It's really been a process of learning and loving me. And the more amount of time that I have spent looking at myself in the mirror. And if you have taken my self-love mirror exercise, you know how important it is for you to take that time to look at yourself in the mirror, to actually look at yourself in the mirror, and to look at yourself with love. And this experience with taking care of my hair has really been showing me. And I had said, as soon as I started posting pictures of me with curly hair, I got so many comments, so many people saying, "Oh my gosh, I love it. You look so beautiful." And I just knew that this was it. This was meant to be. I have to really cultivate this and nurture my hair back to health, because then in the process, I learned that my hair hasn't been very healthy. And this is the case for most of us, because we're on the go, because we're wanting to look like that one celebrity, and we just do things to our hair. And here's the kicker. This is what we do to ourselves and our emotions too. We do these things, we don't even realize it, because we're always trying to look like that one person. We don't take the time to see how we actually look and to love the way that we are. And then we end up feeling so frustrated, especially in relationships, because we accept others to see who we are and love who we are, but that will never happen until we do it for ourselves. So, of course, I would philosophize this whole process of hair, because it really is connected to self-love, okay? So I asked around on social media, would you be interested if I shared more about what I'm doing with my hair, how to care for your hair, especially if it's wavy and curly? Hands down, a bunch of people said, yes, 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 please share. So I don't want to just for this to be just something that I'm going to be talking about, the products that I use, the routine that I do. I will add this in there, but I want it to be focused on self-love, because it really has been about self-love. Because it takes time, because it's trial and error. It's so similar to what I've been doing, psychologically and emotionally wise with women in my coaching work and with myself. And so I will be doing this training July 8th, so next week on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. And I'll be sharing the 3 most common mistakes women make in their self-love journey. I'll also talk about the 3 reasons why embracing my hair and taking care of it has helped me in my daily self-love practice. So I will combine the two and say how it really is related, and it really goes into what you put in your body, what you eat, how you're moving your body. All of these things have to do with self-love. And finally, I will talk to you about the 3 most important steps I've taken to get my curls healthy and more defined by following the Curly Girl method, but in a way that works for me. I'm not following it to a T. I'm really, really seeing what works for me, not only for my hair, so getting to know my hair, which is what I always encourage women to do. Get to know yourself. That's what I'm doing with my hair. But also what works for my reality, for my routine. I have triplets. I'm at home all the time with them in this isolation process. So if you're interested in learning more, just go to martaspirk.com/free training. So do sign up. I'll be going live inside my group on Facebook. But if you're not on Facebook, I will provide the Zoom link so you can join me in the Zoom meeting at the same time and watch this training that I'll be doing at 3 p.m. Mountain Time on July 8th. So I would highly encourage you to register so that you get a notification and you don't forget and you can watch live and ask me questions. I will send the replay afterwards, but do register, okay? So that you remember the time and all the details. So again, I'll be talking about the mistakes that women make in terms of their self-love journey, the 3 reasons why embracing your hair has everything to do with self-love, and, other parts of you. It doesn't have to be just the hair. And then the 3 most important steps that I've taken into taking care of my curls and getting them to come back. So I'm calling this training the Loving All of Me training. So if you could use a little help, a little encouragement, some tips on how to love all of you and embrace all of you, whether that be your hair, whether that be your body, it doesn't matter. You have to join me. And I'm so excited to see you there. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this encouraged you to find and celebrate some of your silver linings in the month of June. What were they? Do share them with me and sign up for my free training. All the links are in the show notes. Until next time, bye.